Well, hello, hello, hello. Theater Talks with Scott is back, baby. Yeah. All right. So thank you for being here. So I have to tell you, it's been over a year since I have done a video. Um, I got a lot of input, and people were like, oh, you need to edit and you need to add pictures and music, and there's all these wonderful things you can do. And so I took class after class after class, and I tried different apps and I tried different stuff. And this girl is not a tech, okay? I have all the respect for people who have mad skills, that can do the video editing and everything. I can't. And so then it became tedious and it became frustrating. So I quit doing it. But recently, and I mean in the last month or less, I have heard from three or four or five people about they miss my videos or when am I going to do the video again. And I remembered that it's supposed to be fun. And I like doing this and I like sharing. It's not about the tech. It's about me and the show that I'm talking about and you. So I'm back. Yay. All right. And so I'm in New York City for the my theater trip that I am calling 10 Days of Theater. We're going to see how much theater we can cram into 10 days. All right. So my very first show, Suffs. Suffs, baby. You know I had to buy the hat. Okay? I mean, I am a producer's biggest producers love me because I buy merch like crazy. Okay? My bill for my merch was over $100. Okay? I got the Suffs bag there. I actually got two of them because I'm taking one back to my friend Jean Ann. Do y'all remember my friend Jean Ann? She co-hosted kind of with me when we saw Randy Rainbow a couple years ago. Yes, and she teaches gender studies and things. So this is all up her alley. Anyway, so shout out to my friend Jean Ann. I love you. Suffs. 2 years ago, this was playing at the Public, and I was here, and it was over the summer. You could not get a ticket. There were lines like hours before trying to get a ticket. You couldn't. And I was very disappointed because I thought this would be right up my alley. Okay, so I didn't get a ticket. And then I was like, okay, it's going to come to Broadway. It's going to come to Broadway. Well, it's been 2 years. It went through some rewrites, new numbers, new stuff, some new cast, some of the original cast, and it is on Broadway. It opened last night, was the official opening. It ran in previews for, I don't know, probably a month, but it opened last night, and so I was there tonight. It's playing at the Music Box on 45th, which is Theater Row. I love 45th. And there's a lot about this that's impressive. One, it is written by Shaina Taub. And when I say it's written by Shaina Taub, I mean it's written by Shaina Taub. The book, the lyrics, the music, and the star, Shaina Taub. Okay, that's a name that I had kind of heard here and there occasionally. I remember she wrote an opening number or something number for the Tony Awards the year that Josh Groban and the girl who did Waitress. Goodness gracious, really? Um, anyway, they hosted. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, I got to keep going. So she did this, and it's about women's suffrage. It's about women getting the right to vote. Okay, um, and so the musical is all about women empowering and fighting and struggling and the horrible things that happened to women and the way things were back in the early 1900s and before. I love there's a wonderful, I think, is it a song? Hold on. Um, no, it's not a song, but there is a wonderful scene between one of the lead girls who is in the movement and the chief of staff for President Wilson, who is played by a woman, and she's a woman playing a man. And the girl says, do not understand because they are kind of attracted, and he's like, "Would you marry me?" And she's like, "Are you trying to kill me? Because if I get married, that's death to a woman." Because they had no rights, and at being married, everything was your husband's and your husband's rights. I don't want to delve too much into the history. I want to tell you that I learned stuff from this musical. Um, I had to Google it. And in fact, and it frustrates me when history isn't right. And we're having a lot of that going on, and it has been going on for a long time. I Googled what was the very first organized march on Washington, D.C., and it brought up a march in the 60s, the 1960s. That's not true. Um, these women organized a march. I think there was about 5,000 something in the play. They say it was a lot more. There was an organized march by women on Washington, D.C. in like 1913, 14, those early days. But yet it's not credited as the first organized march because we still have a problem acknowledging women are the same as men or equal to. They're not the same. All right. So Shaina Taub stars as Alice Paul, who was very instrumental in the movement to get women the right to vote. And she's really, really good. Here's the thing, she's not. I don't see her getting cast in musical after musical after musical as a star forever and ever. This is her show. And she wrote it, she's passionate about it, and she is great in it. And I'm very happy to see her. She has a fabulous voice. She has great stage presence. She really does very well. I have to mention a couple of the others that are in the show. Some big names that are in the show. Nikki M. James. Do you remember her from Book of Mormon? Okay, the Bumblebee speech when she won her Tony Award. She plays, and I have to look at it. She plays Ida B. Wells. All of these people are real people. They existed. A black woman who was a reporter. Then there's Jen Colella. Jen Colella, I love. She was nominated for a Tony Award in Come From Away. She's done a lot. She has been playing this role from the beginning, and she plays Carrie Chapman Cat, who was mentored by Susan B. Anthony. And she's really leading the effort. And then comes Alice Paul, who says, "Your way isn't working. You're too nice. You're too polite. You're having tea and letting them call you little lady. No, we need to raise hell. We need to fight. We need to march. We need to demand. We need to burn the president in effigy." And so they clashed a lot. However, they were both there. We know what happened. We know the end of the story, that women did get the right to vote. Hopefully you know that the fight and the struggle for women is not over. It is become worse in the last few years. I'm not going to get all political. I will just say I loved what President Biden said in his State of the Union when he said the women are going to make their voices known. This musical is one of your marching songs, marching shows for making your voice known to the country, that women will not let the government tell them what they can do with their body. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're one of those people that do not believe that women should be able to control their own body, including whatever fetus or is inside of them, and if they need to abort it or they want to, and you believe they shouldn't have that right, please quit following me. Go away. And I'm serious. Go away. Because I don't want to know you. And I don't want you in my feed. I don't want to hear about it. Okay? Settled. Back to the musical. You guys, this was so fun. It really is so well crafted. The story flows. Does it reveal some great new way of doing musicals? The glasses keep causing glare. Sorry. No, it doesn't. Okay? Does it come up with some new way of delivering lyrics and theater? No, it doesn't. But it is genius in its simplicity of storytelling and the way that they do it. and it is gorgeous. It is entertaining. It is informative. It is moving. It is inspirational. You can tell I'm jazzed up by it. Okay, I want to do two quick things. I want to talk about the choreography, because the choreography. Who is the choreographer? I don't know, and I should know. And choreography is by Mayte Natalio, Maytenatalio. And this is directed beautifully by Lee Silverman. She did a gorgeous job in keeping it simple, in staying with the story, keeping it simple. It's just a wonderful job. The choreography, it is not a lot of what we would call dance. You're not going to see some Fosse. You're not going to see some Twyla. You're not going to see some Martha Graham. Okay? But the choreography of the numbers, and numerous numbers, of the way that they use their hands, and that they back up the story and the hands, and the way that they move the hands, and that is so symbolic and so beautifully done. So when you go to see this show, and I hope you all go run see this show, notice the hands. You can't help but notice it. It is so beautifully done and so dramatic. It's kind of a way of using hands like Fosse did, but in a completely different way. It's not Fosse-esque at all, but Fosse did a lot with hands and making the hands stand out. And so in this show as well. I also want to mention, I have been a fan of Emily Skinner for years. I think she is just so talented and sometimes underrated. She really, she is an amazing talent. Singing, actress, just phenomenal. And in this, she has a role. She plays the woman who kind of bankrolled the movement. And it's a real woman. I have to look up the name. Alva Belmont. Alva Belmont was a rich, very, very wealthy woman, and she funded a lot of the movement. And Emily Skinner plays her so well and so dramatically. And then at a key moment in the show, she plays another character, a mother, and sings a song, a solo that is just, remembering it, I cry again. It was so moving. And it's a simple country mother's letter to her son about why he should vote to ratify the 19th Amendment. A gorgeous letter. And it's real. These people are real. A lot of the cast are making their Broadway debuts, and not just in the ensemble. A lot of the principals are making their Broadway debuts. And another one that really stuck out to me is, hold on, she plays Inez Milholland, and her name is Hannah Cruz. Write that name down, y'all. That woman, I'm going to say it, that bitch. Because they have a song in the show called The Great American Bitch. And they turn the word of bitch around to be something good and powerful. And she represents it all. She is amazing in this show. I mean, truly amazing. So, remember that name. Listen, go see Suffs at the Music Box. It is an evening that is highly entertaining, highly inspirational, moving, but it is also important. And it is important right now. And don't forget to vote. Okay? Thanks for joining me with my return of Theater Talks with Scott. There will be more. I've got 9 more shows to do. Okay? So stay tuned. Thank you again for being here and encouraging me to continue with this journey. Take care. See you at the theater.